Most Airbnb hosts lose bookings because of basic mistakes they don't even know they're making. Over the last year, I've helped loads of you guys optimize your listing with small changes that make instant impacts on your bookings. And so in this video, I'm going to give you 12 actionable, powerful tips, simple changes you can implement in minutes to blow up your listing, fill up that calendar. Now this first one is probably the biggest one and the one that's going to make the biggest difference. And I feel like I talk about it in every video, but guess what? People aren't listening.
Why is no one listening to me?
Because time and time again, I see poor photography. If your property is amazing, but your photos look like no one's going to click through to your listing to book.
True.
But before those of you who have professional photography are sitting back all smug, I'm still talking to you here.
Yes, you.
It's not just about having professional photos, but you need to get one that's an absolute banger, that stands out better than any of the others. That will be your first photo. That will be the one that is going to show up in the search results beside all the other amazing ones. Now to illustrate this, we're going to look on the Airbnb platform itself. I picked Liverpool because Premier League champions. And the interesting quirk about Airbnb is that whenever you do a search, not only does Airbnb push the best, the guest favorites, the superhosts, the ones with the best reviews, because it knows that you're probably going to want to book them, but it also gives that little boost to the newbie listings, to the people who are brand new to the platform. So interestingly, if you're doing a crap job at the start, you're going to show up beside the best, most awesome places in your area, and it's just going to make the difference even more stark. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're looking at Liverpool here, and we can see some stunning photos. There is no surprise this place has 4.9 with 330 reviews. Amazing photo, decent photo, crap photo, and it's a brand new listing. Taken on the phone, stood on the sofa, and lift that phone as high as you can get. I hope you're not watching this video if you're the host here. And here we go again. Look at this one. Of all the images that you could have picked to showcase your property, to stand out against the giants in Liverpool, you pick a picture of the table. And we're not done with the photos here, because it's not just about picking the best one that's going to show up in the search results, but if it's enticing enough that someone's actually going to click it, you need to use the 5 photos that you get at the top of the listing to showcase lots of the property. Do not do what this host has done, which is have 3 photos of that damn table, all taken on phones. I mean, I don't even know what this is. What is that? Anyway, there's nothing about this set of 5 photos that portrays anything about the property, about what I'm going to get there. All I can see is they've got wine glasses and a table. So as well as your hero shot, your main banging image, you should show the bedrooms. If there's multiple ones, if you have a balcony, show it. If you've got anything really cool that you know is gonna tip people over the edge into wanting to book, make sure they're in that first 5, because once you get the click, people are gonna have multiple windows open. They're gonna be comparing your place against others. You wanna make it as seamless and as it stops them in their tracks and they think, this is the one we have to book. Next up, this is the thing that I think is just really an afterthought for a lot of hosts. They give it no thought whatsoever until it's time to actually go live. And it's the title of your listing. The title of your listing is actually very important, and you can use it to get information across instantly to the guests. And the things you should put in the title are the things that the guests love the most. If all the guests who have stayed with you have loved this one specific thing, then all the future guests who are going to come and stay with you are going to want that thing too. Put it in the title. Another way to think about it is, what is the main reason why people book your place? Is it 5 minutes walk to the beach? Is it right beside Anfield Football Stadium? If someone is looking for an experience, that's the reason why they're coming. If you can put it in the title, you're gonna draw the eyeballs to it. And another way to think about the title is, it's a really useful way to get information across that can't be shown in the images. Now, if we go back to our Airbnb that I found in Liverpool, they actually do this reasonably well. They talk about steps to nightlife. So they're very much targeting people who are wanting to go out. It's near Concert Square. This is good. Your photos are rubbish. Now, I can't be on Airbnb and not look at this listing. I mean, this is insane. Now, this is clearly not displaying something that is not obvious from the photos. And whilst this is very a striking image, and it definitely would draw your eye, the rest of these photos, I mean, is that really one of the 5 best photos? This is cool. Everything is branded. The microwave, the toaster, the kettle. I mean, I would actually say that this is maybe a better photo. There's more on the walls, but either way, that needs to be front and center in those top 5 photos. It's even got that "This is Anfield" sign that you touch on the way through. This place is cool. So much thought and care has been put into this. Obviously got very specific type of guests who are wanting to come and stay here, but Jane, pay for some professional photos. It's gonna do the listing so much better. All right, back to it. I got lost there on a sidetrack. Another way to boost your bookings is to look at your description. Now, people have different thoughts on this. I personally do not want to read War and Peace when I land on your listing. I want the information easily digestible, bullet points. I want to know the key things. And this actually works for the host as well, because when it is bullet pointed like that, It's very SEO rich. And again, it's more stuff that you can't get into the title, but that is going to be super important for guests whenever they're looking to come and book somewhere. Next up, you're not going to like this, but again, I feel like you need to hear it. Turn on instant book. Allowing instant booking significantly increases your amount of bookings. Instant booking is Airbnb's version of Amazon's Buy Now button. It removes hesitation and boosts just immediate action. Look, guests often are in a rush whenever they're making a booking. They don't want the friction of having to send,
"Oh, please, can I come and stay in your Airbnb?"
It's not how the world works. They're used to booking hotels using booking.com. You click a button, it's booked. And you should be on booking.com. And if you are, there's no inquiries there. It's all instant book. And those guests are 10 times worse than Airbnbs. So by turning on instant book, it's like all of these things. We're reducing the friction. We're making the whole journey just happen so much quicker. So they've saw an awesome photo in the search results. They've clicked your listing. They've saw 4 more awesome photos. They've scanned up. They've read your title. Yes, that's exactly what I want. They've scrolled down. They've seen your description. Yes, 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 that's what I want as well. Get it booked. Next up, we're talking about the thing, apart from the photos, is probably going to be the biggest determinant of how many bookings you get. And it's your pricing. It's impossible to overstate just how much your rates will affect your level of bookings. You probably will be appearing in hundreds of searches every day, but even if your place is amazing, if it's priced too high, guests will reluctantly just move on. You need to be competitive in your market. You need to regularly review and adjust your pricing to keep it in line with the other properties in the area. You need to put it up in periods of high demand and low in periods of low demand. It should change every day, like the length of stay, the day of the week, how many people are coming. There's a million different reasons why it should change up and down. And the best thing you can do is to employ an algorithm like Price Labs or Wheelhouse. Because it's not just about putting your price super high and then if a booking doesn't come in, you just drop it super low again. These things need to change gradually. You drop it down bit by bit. That's what the algorithm does. It's like a wave that's coming and you're the surfboard and you need to catch that wave at the right moment. If you do it too quick, the wave passes you by. If you do it too late, you get, I don't know, I've lost it. Next up is another one that I know you're not going to like, but it's offering more flexibility on your cancellation policy. And now hear me out. Imagine you only offered a non-refundable rate. People are going to be scared to book that because shit happens, things change, plans change, and it can be a wee bit scary. And again, it's just more friction. They go to book and it's like non-refundable. You're like, oh, well, I'll just check and just double, I'll come back to this later. And then it's gone. On the other end of the scale, you can have complete flexibility, no non-refundable bit. That is terrifying as well because that means people can book 10 different places and then send them to their friends or their family and say, booked all 10 of these, which one will we stay in? That's not great either, but there is a sweet spot to be had there. And certainly since COVID, I don't even know if I can say that word online, since then, people have definitely tended to prefer more flexible policies. We don't know, is there another Rona coming? Pre-COVID, we used to have a non-refundable and a 30-day cancellation. We then had to change that, and I think at the minute it's now 7 days. The more flexibility you give on this cancellation policy, the more bookings you will get. Next up, we're talking about the Airbnb algorithm itself and how you can give it a wee massage, get it working for you. For whatever reason, it does seem to like if you go in and start poking about and updating stuff and changing things around. I don't know what likes that. Surely it should just be if guests like it and guests book it, you go up higher. For whatever reason, it loves when you go in, have a wee footer about. And I think lots of people know that. But another way to look at it is make absolutely sure that you have a fully complete listing. There's always new screens and boxes and things to tick always coming on there. Make sure that you're regularly going in, making sure everything is ticked. And especially make sure that you can offer the most searched for things in the search results. Let me show you. So we're back in Liverpool again here, and I haven't put any dates in or any amount of guests, but these are the filters. Now, these ones are suggested to us, recommended for us. This is me searching as a guest because it knows these are what most people who are searching for a stay in Liverpool want. I'm sure you all have a kitchen, but are you sure that you've ticked kitchen? Because if I click this and you haven't ticked kitchen, you're gone from the search results. Again, self-checking. Most people want this, and I'm sure most people offer it, most hosts offer it, but unless you've ticked it, if I tick this, it's not showing up. Now these are the biggies, but we can scroll down here and we can see there are many more. And look, instant book. This is what people are looking for as well. These are the popular ones. Of course you have Wi-Fi, of course you have a TV. Just make sure that you're ticking it. If you don't offer an iron, Get an iron. It's going to cost you, what, 20 quid? And you're going to show up in more search results if people click they need an iron. Pool? I can't imagine there are many pools in Liverpool. EV charger. I'm seeing more and more people talking about these. This is a big one. King bed. So whenever we're setting up our rooms, our bedrooms, there's always the decision, what size bed will we get? King bed is the only one here that people are using as a popular filter. So if you can, get a king bed. Smoking allowed. Whew. Dangerous. The next way to get a boost in your bookings by using that Airbnb algorithm is to respond super quick to your guest messages. If you can respond to guest messages in under an hour, you are going to show up higher in those search results. You're also just going to get more bookings in general because people are going to be like, can I book? And you're like,
yeah.
And then they book it. And lastly on this algorithm, as well as photos and as well as rates, the other biggie here are your reviews. Reviews are so important and we all know this, but how many of us actually ask for a good review whenever the guest leaves? Guests are busy, they're traveling home, they've got 3 screaming kids. They don't always have time to think about you and your business. You're done. Their life is back to normal again. But if you just send them a quick message, ask them for a review, tell them you're going to leave them a review, it's just going to be better. Because the more positive reviews you have, the more money you're going to make. And if you get negative ones, that's fine. It happens. Respond to them politely, professionally, because every next guest that comes and reads that bad one wants to see how you've responded. And if you've just unloaded all of your stress from that day into that guest, like writing an essay, like, fuck you, that's not going to go down well for the rest of your business. Next up is about getting more eyeballs on your property. Now, I'm not even going to say you need to be on more than one OTA. Well, I've just said it, but you better be. Not just Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, Vrbo, Google, your own website, all of this stuff. That goes without saying. What I'm talking about here is social media. Get a Facebook page for your business, not your personal one. This has to be like a brand. Get an Instagram, maybe get a TikTok. Start sharing content of your property. Look at local tourist Facebook pages, share your listing in there, share your page, highlight your reviews. If you get a great review, share it. If you've got big events coming up or any discounts or promotions, this is the sort of stuff to share. But here's what not to do. I see so many people posting their listing in Airbnb host groups. Like, no one in an Airbnb host group is going to book your place. What they are going to do is go and have a wee snoop around and think, oh, don't like their main photo. Oh, look, there's a weird thing in here. And what it's actually going to do is hurt your conversion statistics because you're going to get quite a lot of people come to your page with no intention whatsoever of booking. So Airbnb is going to think, oh, everyone gets to this listing, but then they never book. So let's just put it down, let's hide it. So don't do that. Next up, we're talking about pricing again, but it's a bit more sophisticated ways of doing it. We're talking about discounts and promotions. If you offer 1 and 2 night stays, you're going to need a lot of bookings every month to get good occupancy. But if you can encourage longer stays, say 15 nights, well, you only need 2 bookings and you've got 100% occupancy. But how do you get that? Well, if you're just offering your 2-night rate times 15, it's going to be far too expensive for anyone. And so you can set up rules and discounts on Price Labs and on any PMS or channel manager that will discount based on the length of stay. So you still offer high rates for those shorter stays, but if someone searches for a longer stay, your price shows up much more competitive and therefore much more likely that they're going to book it for that longer stay. You can also offer discounts for people who plan ahead and book in advance, so you can be going into a whole year full of bookings because you've offered these discounts. Likewise, last minute discount booking. What? Last minute discounts will encourage bookings as well. And again, this is so important that you're using Price Labs to do that for you, because otherwise you're going to be on there every day adjusting those rates. And then the next one is about being really strategic with your gaps. So if you have a 1 or a 2 night gap in between bookings, you need to sell that. And it's as simple as searching for those gaps, see what the competitors are charging, and just price competitively. And again, Price Labs does this super well because it knows if you have an orphan gap, a gap in between 2 bookings, and even if you wouldn't normally take a 2-night stay, you can tell Price Labs that if a 2-night gap appears, to reduce the minimum stay, to accept it for that. Now, the key here is it's automatic, because what you don't want to happen is one of those bookings cancels and then you've got a massive gap. But if you've set it yourself to have a 2-night stay, you don't need the 2-night stay now. So Price Labs knows this and it will automatically switch back on to, oh, this is not a gap anymore. Turn that 2-night minimum stay off. Now, if you want to know the exact steps to take to not only increase your bookings, but blow up your listing and turbocharge your entire business, then the next video you need to watch is this one. It's a literal step-by-step blueprint of how to make any Airbnb successful. I'll see you there.